Welcome to another episode of Prioritize. They accomplish while you drown in lists. It's difficult to juggle your responsibilities. Husband, father, brother. It goes on, but your energy doesn't.
You pondering what I'm pondering?
Prioritize what's right for you, not what's left behind. This is Prioritize with Toby Baker.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. This is Prioritize. Here we discuss prioritizing faith, family, relationships, and more. I'm your crazy white, formerly fat host, the Baker Boy himself. Welcome to the show. Glad you guys decided to join us. Today we discuss prioritizing the diet. I love the word that. Don't you just love the word the diet? And if you're picking up my sarcasm, what I'm putting down, congratulations. I tend to speak sarcasm quite a bit. I actually speak that more than I speak English. And it doesn't take listening to this guy very long to discover that. When I was a kid, we lived in an entirely different city, did a lot of moving around, but there was always this white box in the cabinet that Mom would pop out, and then she'd have these little packets, and she'd shake up the packet so all the powder fell to the bottom of the packet, and she'd pop off this drinking container, right? It's like a shaker. But back in the day when I was like, 5, 6, 7 years old, they didn't have those little shaker balls that went inside the shaker to help mix up all the lovely powder that you're about to ingest. It was just the shaker. At least that's all that I knew. So every single morning, she's downstairs, I got my bowl of cereal. Sometimes I'd be getting out half a loaf of bread. You ever do this? You get half a loaf of bread and you get out the butter, real butter, not the I can't believe it's no butter type butter. That's not real butter. I mean the real salted in a salt block butter that's like hard as a rock when you bring it out of the fridge, but 2 minutes later it's starting to melt because it's just that good. Yes, you take that and you spread it on the bread. And then you have your sugar and cinnamon, and you don't just dazzle it on there. You dump it on the bread, right? And then you pick up that piece of bread, and then you dump what didn't stick to that piece of bread onto the next piece of bread that already has the beautiful butter spread on it. And you do that until you go through all your 6 or 7 slices of bread. Then you slide them in the toaster, right? Then you got some really nice cinnamon sugar toast. That was breakfast. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes it'd be a bowl of applesauce. And then the really healthy, sugary cereal. Yes, that was the diet when you're a kid. Why? Because you don't freaking care what you're eating when you're a kid. It could have been a bowl of gummy bears and 3 donuts. By, I don't know, what time? 7? So by like 9 o'clock, I'm ready to eat again. I've already expended all that energy, all that sugar, all the carbs. They're all gone. Now that I'm 44 years old, I look at a Snickers bar, I gained 2 pounds. Are you with me on this? So she had these packets, and she'd shake, senora, shake it all the time. Work. So she'd shake and then rip off the top of the packet, pour it in the shaker. Then she'd add water. I mean, I'm watching this like this is disgusting to me. I can't believe people actually do this and they like it. The little white box was called Medifast. And I remember that being in our cupboard for years. And I thought maybe it was like a vitamin pack, protein pack, something the doctor said she had. No, it's just a diet. It's like a diet. I'm like, you're doing this because you want to lose weight? Yeah. Is it? I mean, can you ask Mom if her diet plan is working without getting slapped in the next week? I don't know. I don't remember if I asked her. I just remember at one point I discovered this is a diet, and then I started wondering, why does she keep doing it? It's like never goes away. This is part of her lifestyle now. This is part of the way she's going to eat. And, be with me, give me a little bit of brevity on this. I was still in my young, like 9, 10 years old, 11 years old phase, all right? I didn't know anything. Today that I'm 44, I don't know much more, but I know that if you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're not getting any results, then we're doing it wrong, aren't we? You get the same result doing it. I mean, Why would we expect something different doing the same thing over and over again? Wouldn't we want to change that up after a while? If I always do what I've always done, I will always get what I've always gotten. That wisdom, ladies and gents, you can take that to the bank. Not that they're going to give you any money for it. They're like, we've heard this before. Next. Yeah, that's about the bulk of wisdom that I have. I'm going to keep talking. That's as good as it's going to get. So I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a pro football player. I'm not even a trainer. I'm just your above average Joe, crazy, formerly fat, white guy, but I have really good hair, and I got pictures to prove it. My wife married me for two reasons. One was my ass was so good. You wouldn't even believe it. But when I put on a pair of Levi's, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like, is this guy, he's for real? This is a real guy? Yeah, I had it like that. And I had really good hair. That was about it. It wasn't for my smarts or intelligence. Didn't have a whole lot back then. Still hasn't gotten a whole lot better now. I was kind of a creative guy, but that fell in, it was overshadowed, heavily overshadowed by my really good hair. Years ago, this would have been back in 2003, I started thinking, man, I'd really like to lose some weight. You ever thought that to yourself? All right, we're beyond January 1. We're even beyond February 1. And it's only 2 weeks into the new year when most of the New Year's resolutions fall by the wayside. You talk to the people at the gym, and they know that place is going to be flooded with newbies, new people, and they got all this aspiration, and they got all this energy. And then by January 13th or 14th, statistically, they're right back down to the normal people that are at the gym. Do you go to a gym? Are you a gym person? Are you a gym membership person? Did you buy a membership? Are you still using it? I hope you're still using it, because now you're paying for that. You're no longer just sitting at home thinking, I should go get a gym membership. No. Now you got the gym membership and you're still sitting at home. There's times where I would sit home. Maybe you're not. You're probably far better than I ever was. But we got the gym membership, and it was still a chore to get in the car, go over to the gym. Even though I had everything at the gym, I was like, why am I taking a gym bag each and every time? Why not just have some of the clothes there? Why not just have the shampoo and the body wash and all the stuff you use when you're cleaning up after? Why don't you just keep that right there? They have lockers. Hello? And then it dawned on me, we could actually do that. So that's what I did. And so we were, my wife and I were going to the gym, and then I had a lot of work and projects that actually took me out of the area. So we stopped with my gym membership, and because I was no longer going, my wife decided she was no longer going to go. It's not like I'm the inspiration for her gym membership. Don't hear that, because that's definitely not what I'm saying. She had some folks over there, some really good girls. They were doing the Zumba, which I'm not sure exactly what that is. I believe that was something to do with animals and the zoo. They just kind of put it all together in the word Zumba. And she would come out and she's all sweaty. I have no clue what they did in there. And I'm not asking. Sorry, that's not I'm not trying to ask like what they were doing. So I'm not, I figured it was like a big, sweaty, and then it was over. And then that's it. So they did have a sauna at the gym. So I'd be on the treadmill or the elliptical for about 50 minutes. Then I'd go do some weight training. Then I'd stretch. And then I'd go to the sauna and hopefully sweat out all the impurities. All that is really good for my body. My body was like craving that. And I didn't even know it. So years ago, back in, I'm thinking it was 03, I was thinking to myself, I'd really like to lose weight. And then this kind of inside voice, that inside voice, sometimes it's helpful. It's like, you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. And that's when that voice was telling me, don't date the redhead. Don't do it. Don't date the redhead. You're going to regret it. And I don't think that all the redheads are this way. Just for some reason, I was drawn that they were beautiful. And I started to date, and then I realized this is a mistake. How do I get out of this? I made a big mistake. This is catastrophic. So then I've talked with other guys who have dated redheads, and they're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. We had to ask for healing. It was a whole big process, right? Praise God, I married a brunette. She's gorgeous then. She looks even better today. So just my experiences. Now, I know of a redhead. She still has a very feisty temper. But otherwise, she's a very energetic person. So maybe they're more so that way, and I just did not cognitively understand the redheads, how they operate, how their mind is. Most people don't understand how my mind is. I don't know how my mind is, and that's okay. We just keep moving forward, right? Every day that we wake up above ground. Some people say, well, you woke up on the right side of the ground. I don't know. Today is way different than what it was 20, 30 years ago. I grew up in the 1980s. If you woke up on the above ground, man, that was a good time. The neon clothing was excellent. The hairstyles were earth-shattering. I mean, the mohawk was huge. People were doing all these weird things with, do you remember the parachute pants? I had a pair of those. And I know you're jealous. I can feel the jelly right now. And yes, I looked really good in the parachute pants. My hair, of course, the hair was great. And hair gel was everywhere. Now it's pomade or paste or there's some other there's like a hair balm. I'm forgetting what it's called. But it doesn't really matter. Anyway, 80s were great. I learned a thing or two about my previous dating experiences. She nixed the whole gym membership. Is that to say gym memberships are bad? Absolutely not. I think as long as you're going to utilize the gym membership and hopefully the fact that you are not paying for your gym membership every single month for like a year contract or 2-year contracts, that you actually have that motivation. Hey, dumbbell, you're sitting on the couch and you're paying $50 a month for this membership. Maybe we go, more than once a month, so we're not paying $50 per visit. You ever bought one of those car wash monthly memberships to a car wash? They got this thing called the Tube down in Fort Wayne, and they have 2 different locations. I wish they had more because I travel so much, but they have 2 locations. I often find myself zipping all around Fort Wayne all throughout the month. So I'm like, you know what? I'm here anyway. I'm just going to buy one of these car wash memberships, $57. And if you only use it once, yeah, that's a terrible idea. But if you're there 3 times out of the week, 3, 6, 9, 12, yeah, that's pretty good. Dividing 57 by 12, the other way around, sorry. And that works out to be a really good number, far less than $20 per wash, right? So that made sense. If I'm going to the gym at least 3 times per week, there's a local membership here. It's got it at $25 a month, which isn't bad. That's great. That's a good value. They had the sauna. They have several workout rooms with free weights. They have a couple of trainers there. They have a smoothie bar. They taste different than the way that I make smoothies at home. They don't use rum, tequila, or vodka. And I don't know if that's natural. I didn't want to ask, right? You kind of feel self-conscious. It's like, is there protein in this shake? I'm picking up the protein, but I'm not picking up any alcohol. Maybe we need to rethink the smoothie bar, right? If you're going 2-3 times a week, bravo. I applaud you. The voice inside my head that was warning me about the women I was about to date was kind of the same kind of voice that was saying, well, when you really want to lose weight, you will. Oh, that's a little harsh. No? Like, I didn't need that. I didn't need that extra little oomph. I mean, honestly, maybe I did, but I'm thinking to myself, who the devil just said that? Hello, I don't need that kind of criticism. The God's honest truth is that I did, because when I honestly wanted to lose weight, I began losing weight. I have the ability to stand up, take in nourishment, like nourishment. Krispy Kreme glazed donuts, Flamin' Hot Cheetos, Black Forest gummy worms. I'm talking strong, solid nourishment. If I can eat those things, If I can stand up, walk around, if I'm able to lift weight, why can't I go to the gym and work out? What is keeping me from getting on the elliptical or getting on the treadmill or maybe talking to a trainer or getting on Pinterest? How many different exercises are on Pinterest? Or what about Taibo on YouTube? You know, there's several different, and that thing came out in the early 90s with Billy Blanks. I think he's in a movie called Equilibrium, which I never wanted to watch because I value my time. Maybe it's a good movie. I just saw it. I thought, this guy can't be a good actor, right? He's a great trainer. I'll give him that. I mean, he's in greater shape than I am, and that to which I aspire to be. So I'm sure he knows what he's talking about when it comes to muscle training and focusing the mind. I don't know about the whole acting gig. It's like, hey, Jean-Claude Van Damme, you want to do a dramedy type of series? We'll call it JCVD. Did you see that series on Amazon Prime? You have to watch it with a bunch of college guys. Otherwise, it's not going to be funny. It's like the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's dangerous to watch it alone because you're sitting there thinking, why am I watching this all by myself? Is this really that funny? You got to watch it with a few other people. You know, like The Big Lebowski. Don't watch that all by yourself the first time around. It's going to freak you out. And don't watch it without a smoothie. We call them magic smoothies in the summertime because we add some magic into them. So don't watch The Big Lebowski without a magic smoothie. Now, you can go to the smoothie bar at the gym. I'm not sure that they're going to make the magic smoothies the way that we make the magic smoothies in the summer. Once again, I truly believe it's because there's a supreme lack of rum, vodka, and tequila in any of their smoothies. I tried 4 different smoothies, and although I was able to stomach it and I know that it was for my own good, there wasn't any alcohol. What is the matter with these people? How do they expect to get repeat customers, right? Like if you go into a really good restaurant that serves high-octane food, I'm talking 35, maybe even 45 day-aged prime rib or ribeye, or maybe even the New York strip, and then they slice it right off the bone, man. You get like a 2-inch thick steak, and then they add some of those caramelized onions. Maybe they add some seared veggies on the side. You got the whole shiitake mushrooms that sauteed in bacon grease. How you guys doing out there? You feeling like dieting yet? I don't yet either. Not after that. I mean, most of what I just said was paleo, especially if you add in some glazed with, let's see, the asparagus. If you get some asparagus glazed with a little bit of olive oil, putting that in the oven for like 400 degrees, and take it out after 10 minutes, boom, you have yourself some really nice asparagus. Now, what I used to do is, not that you've asked, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you since you're on here, we would do these skillets when I was on the road. So we'd take polka kielbasa, red, yellow, green, orange bell pepper, maybe even some spinach, but that goes on the side. That never went into the skillet. I would not put that into the skillet. Take shrimp if you got shrimp. That all gets sauteed, and then maybe some bacon, definitely some bacon. And then at the end, you add some more bacon. And make sure it's all, sliced up so you can eat it good, or you can throw that into a lettuce wrap or a very, very, very low carb or no carb wrap, which doesn't have much flavor. It's just it's a feeding mechanism in case you don't have any forks. Then you bring that out, throw on some hot sauce, not the Louisiana hot sauce. That we reserve strictly for jambalaya, okay? My kids like to have a heyday with me. They're all like, hey, Dad, you want the Louisiana hot sauce with the Chicago dog? It makes me want to slap him in the face. No, it is Frank's Red Hot. We have had this discussion several times. Whose children are you? I don't know, my dad's getting all upset about the Louisiana hot sauce. We got some right in the fridge. You try to raise your kids the proper way. You try to show them and teach them about the good things, the nutty bar things. You try to teach them about the Black Forest gummy bears. And it says organic right on the package, so you know they're not going to lie to you. It's just good packaging. Yes, go to the gym. Get the value for the membership. What is it that pushes you to go to the gym? What is it that pushes you and says, you know what? I used to weigh 200. I currently weigh 235. We need to do something about this. Is it the fact that your same pants don't fit the way that they used to? When you stand in front of the mirror and your wife walks in and is like, oh, I didn't know you had your shirt off. I'm sorry, I'll leave the room. Is it kind of that feeling like, oh, really? When you get on the scale, does it say to be continued? I've seen it do that for me before, which is an old mama joke. I get it. I'm pulling out the goodies, but the oldies. And that's how I roll sometimes if I'm rolling. Actually, I like the cinnamon rolls from Cinnabon. You ever been to a Cinnabon? Now they got them connected with the truck stops. And we know there's one every time we're traveling down to see Joyce's folks. Every once in a while, certainly around Christmas time, we pass right by the truck stop, which has the Cinnabon, and they sell them. They sell them in boxes of 6 and 12. And I'm like, Joyce, this is a good investment. And she just gives me the look like, is it a good investment, honey? Really? I think, well, if I don't eat for the next, 2.5 months, then by that time it'll all be washed away, right? I mean, tell me I'm not alone in this. Cinnabon donuts, the rolls, the magic rolls that you only eat when you're on vacation. Is that so bad? I can't imagine it's that bad. We're prioritizing diet today, ladies and gentlemen. We're prioritizing what are we putting into our bodies? What are we fueling ourselves with? It's supposed to be fuel, right? Food is fuel. I have a motto that I'm actually serious about, and then I'll go back to being the way that I normally am. And it's like this. It's from Socrates. He seemed to be a pretty bright guy back in the day. He says, life in moderation. I love that phrase. Life in moderation. Not too much exercise, not too much laziness, not too much work, not too much play, not too much rest or sleep, not too much, what is the opposite of that? Awakeness? Sounds like nakedness. Awakened nakedness. Not too much that. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's even a thing. I doubt it's a thing. We're going to move forward, though. So life in moderation, right? Not too much creme brulee, not too much of the salty goods, not too much steak, not too much pork, not too much kale, which is actually never a problem for me. Even when you wrap it in bacon and then you wrap that in bacon, I don't need too much kale. I never have too little. Too little kale? Too much. I don't eat kale a whole lot. I'm just going to say that. Anyway, when we're on the road, we're making the skillets, and then when we came home, we're making the skillets, and we use the Frank's Red Hot sauce, just like any normal red-blooded American guy. Frank's Red Hot on darn near anything and everything, except for jambalaya. That's when we use the Louisiana hot sauce. So there's Mom. She's pulling the packets out of this white box that reads Medifast on it, and I saw those boxes in the cupboard when I was a kid for years. I don't know that she actually lost the weight that she was aspiring to lose because she kept on this diet like it was old hat, like this is just what I do. This is my lifestyle now. I understand there's a paleo lifestyle, there's a keto lifestyle, and then there's my lifestyle. There's modified paleo. I like the paleo because I'm more of a carnivore, so I tend to eat the poke kielbasa, smoked sausage. I like the nightshade vegetables. I like the asparagus, the lettuce. I like the shrimp. I love the steak. I love the prime rib, the ribeye, the New York strip. I like pork chops. I like chicken. I like turkey. I like ham. I understand there's benefits with that. I understand there's benefits with being a vegan and a vegetarian. I'm grateful that they're out there. And if we got some listening to the show today, thanks for listening. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're a vegan and a vegetarian because you leave so much meat for guys like me. I mean that from the bottom. It sounds like I'm being sarcastic because it comes so natural to me, but that's from my honest and sincere gratitude of showing thanks to you. Yes, I have no idea where I was. I was pretty sure I was talking about Medifast and treadmills and elliptical and the diet. And this little voice inside me that said, hey, when you honestly want to lose weight, you will. When it becomes a priority, you will begin losing weight. I think those words are true for a lot of us. I'm not going to say for all of us. I understand there's health conditions out there. There's critical conditions out there. I can't say that about me at all. I've just been lazy, and my waist size has paid the price. I don't look like the 175-pound spry soccer player I was as a junior and senior in high school. I look like the 220-pound guy that I am now with really good hair. I started at 235. I'm at 220. I'm headed to 215 by next Friday. How am I going to do that? I got a plan. Do you have a plan? Do you have a goal? If none of this is important to you, that's okay. Maybe you're just listening because you have absolutely nothing else in the entire world to do. That's all right. I'm glad to be a monkey of entertainment for you for the next few minutes. I'm glad you're sticking around. If you honestly want to write down a goal, if you have a goal in mind and it's not just a wish, which is like, someday I'm going to lose weight, that's not really a priority for you, then that's okay. I'm not going to pretend like it's not a priority for me. I was pretending like it was a priority back in 2003. I should really lose some weight. Well, yeah, that was true, but I never did. Why? Because it wasn't a priority to me. All these other things were priorities. All the food that I've already talked to you about, that was all carbs, that was all sugary Cinnabon, carbohydrate-filled Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I know you're salivating at the mouth. Make sure you keep a napkin nearby. It's all good. I don't hate on that stuff. I'm just not eating it right now. It's not helping me get to my goal. What is my goal? I'm so glad you asked, because that's where I was going next. It's like you're reading my mail, man. I don't know how it is. So my goal is 200 pounds by June 1st, 2022. How am I going to get there? I got some ideas. I'm on this elliptical thing every morning for a bare minimum of a mile. It used to take me a little more than an hour. Then it started taking me about an hour. Then it took me 50 minutes. Now I'm down to 45. If you're a pretty athletic person, you're listening to this saying, you know what, that is a piss-pot poor timing, and you'd be absolutely right. All right? I'm not gonna say no to that. I'm not the most athletic guy in the world. I don't have to be. I do have other priorities on this planet in my life, albeit my wife, our boys who have grown up. Gosh, dang it. It's tough to say that out loud. Like yesterday, they were in kindergarten, and today they're fully grown men. I don't know how this happened. I was sneaking into their crib room just a couple nights ago, making sure they were asleep. On the really late nights where it'd been a full day and I didn't get to hold them or kiss them or wrestle with them on the floor, I'd scoop them out of the crib and just hold on to them when I'd go and sit in the rocking chair. And that was a really special time for me. If your parents did that for you, I'm guessing that was a very special time for them. If you've done that with your kids, yeah, I believe that was a really special time for you too. Because you only get so long, right? And then you turn around, click, and here we are today. Our eldest is 26 years old. He's out of the house. He's working. Our middle son is still in the house, and he's got one more year left of college. We told him, hey, you don't have to spend $10,000 a year just for the housing. You're welcome to stay here, but you're going to work your butt off. And I'm okay with that. Our youngest had talked about going into military to find out who he was. He could earn the GI Bill, the scholarship for going to college after he found out who he was or was not, investing 4 years in himself into the military, protecting our country from tyranny. And he decided he didn't want to do that. And he thought maybe college wasn't for him. Okay, that's fine. I mean, this is your life. We're going to support you. We're going to push you a little bit. All right, you're not going to be lazy. So he has not yet moved out of the house. We're okay with that because he pays rent. He pays for his own car, cell phone. He pays for his own insurance. He's paying for everything. So he's not freeloading. He's just still trying to figure out who he is. And my wife and I have had this conversation several times. We get the keen notion that our boys are waiting for us to leave and then they become renters as we are landowners, or they're just trying to kick us out. Can't figure out which one that is, but if we got some dads in the audience and maybe you're going through the same thing, blessings to you, all right? Stick to it. These are good days. We're proud of our boys. And my wife and I have made some commitments. We wrote down some goals. I think it's important to write down your goal, and I'm not the only person who says that. Far wiser men than myself have said, you want to solidify a goal, you write it down. You got a goal you want to reach by June 1st this year, 2022? Write it down. Put a date to it. Make a plan. Get some action steps. How am I going to get to 200 pounds by June when I'm at 221? Well, I'll tell you, more than 70 ounces every single day, 70 ounces of water every single day, bar minimum. What does that do for me? Washes out my system, washes out the previous water, washes out all the fluids I don't need. Trying to cleanse my body. When you find them on Pinterest, I found a couple of colon cleanses, see if that would work. I don't know if it actually came through with what it claimed that it would do, but I did it anyway. Nothing that it was requiring was harmful to my body or my system or my digestive system. It was, spinach and yogurt, which is obviously dairy. I know that. Coconut water, mint, lemon, and had some herbs in there, some spices, ginger, that kind of stuff. Apples are very good for that as well if you're trying to go through a cleanse. But 70 ounces of water a day. I'm doing intermittent fasting. So I'll eat for about less than 4 hours. I got a 4-hour window in the day. The rest of the time I am intermittently fasting. I'm not starving myself because in that time I'm eating and intaking, ingesting a lot of protein, no carbs, no sugars, no dairy, don't need them. But that's me, okay? I'm just sharing my story with you. I'm not telling you this is what you need to do. I am telling you that in this journey, I've seen me lose 15 pounds within 3 weeks. Now, I went on the COVID-19 diet, lost 18 pounds. I was aiming for that last one. Didn't get there. But I realized when I can't taste anything, when I can't smell anything, I don't want to eat anything. And I really listened to what my body was telling me. Hey, we're hungry down here, and I got up and I tried grabbing some apples, or I'd get something that everyone else was eating, and I'd start eating and I'm like, I'm not even hungry and I can't taste this. Why am I feeding myself? Why? I'm doing this very carefully, okay, because I get just one body. I think the human body is a magnificent tool. It is a magnificent item that we've been gifted with, and I want to treat it as best I can. I'm not trying to live to be 100, 120 years old, because there's got to be something beyond that, right? You got to find out what your why is. That doesn't make any sense. Find out what your grand vision is. If you're listening to this, maybe you want to go on a diet that actually works. You want to find something that works for you. You got to ask yourself the reason why. Why do I want to lose weight? What is my goal here, and why do I want to reach 200 pounds by June 1st, 2022? What's my big reason? I actually have several. Thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. That's where I was headed. My wife bought me this Italian soccer jersey that I fell in love with when I saw it online. She bought me this for Christmas just this past season. I can't fit into it for a couple of reasons. One, the Italians like to make their clothes a little more snug. And so when I try to pull that thing over my head, I have moobs and they're really showing. And I don't have a bro like on Seinfeld. I don't have one of those things. I should get one, but I'm pretty sure it'd be obvious that old Tobes wearing a bro and his moobs are showing was wearing on an Italian soccer jersey. It's a tad bit too tight. I'm going to fit into that. That's one of my reasons why. She also got me a Brooks Brothers shirt that we were sure was going to fit. It doesn't fit just quite yet the way that I'd like it to. We're going to go to St. Petersburg, Florida in June. So we're going, it's kind of a birthday gift to each other. And we're paying for this with cash. If you'd be interested to find out how we're paying for this with cash, we just went through and are still on this debt-free journey. And we just finished up baby step number 2, running Ramsey steps. And I talked about this in a previous podcast that's right here on Wisdom. And it's called Prioritizing the Debt-Free Journey. I think it's the very last one that I did. It's also going to be up on our website, tobybaker.life. That's Toby baker.life. If you got questions on any of this, you're welcome to join me here on the show. Also, if you have questions, you don't want to be on the show, you just want to get the questions answered, privately, you're welcome to shoot me an email. I try to answer these as many as I can throughout the day. My email address is that's me at tobybaker.life. That's Toby Baker, Baker .life, as in lifeline. That's me at tobybaker.life. My big why. I want to look better when I look at myself in the mirror. So you could easily say, well, you don't have a very good self-impression of you, and you're right, I don't. But I was at a weight of 200 pounds before. I like how I looked back then. I'm going to be fitting into that Italian jersey that my wife so lovingly bought for me as a Christmas gift this past year, and the Brooks Brothers shirt. I want to feel good when I go on the beach shirtless with my wife and we're out watching the sunset and walking along the sands of the St. Petersburg shore. These are all big whys. And your why, your reason for losing weight has to be bigger than the Cinnabon that I was telling you about earlier. It has to be bigger than that billboard of delicious McDonald's French fries or Wendy's chili or the spicy chicken sandwich from, God's gift to us, Chick-fil-A, right? It's got to be bigger than that. We got to stay focused on the reason we want to lose weight, or the reason we're going to get down to that weight class. What do we want to, are we winning something? Are we looking for something or somebody? Do you want to look differently in the mirror? Do you want to get into certain clothes? Are you trying to eliminate things from your diet, eat healthier, live a little longer, make sure that you're here, or doing everything that you can within your power to be sure that you're here for your grandkids, maybe even your great-grandkids? I don't know. Whatever your why is, put that right on your sheet of paper that you had out earlier. If you don't know what pen and paper is, and I had to look this up, I thought I broke the internet using Google. I went to an antique store. They had some there. They also have these things called office supply stores. They have paper, pen, or I love Evernote because I can access that on all my devices. But make it big. Add some pictures if you need to. Break out these little things. They're yellow. They call them Post-it notes. There's a documentary on the inventor of Post-it notes called Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. I highly recommend watching that. So the inventor of Post-it notes is on there. These things you can peel off and you can stick on your fridge and on your mirror, on your bedstand. Constantly keeping the reason why you are getting down to that weight. Or maybe your goal is entirely different. The system and the principle of this, of the goal reaching and aspiring is the same across the board. You just fill in the blanks yourself. You want to read more books throughout the year. You want to read one book, at least one book, every month for the next 12 months. Why? Why do you want to do that? What's your big reason? What's your big idea? What is the big idea here? So write that down. Make it as big as you possibly can. Get some pictures, print them off online. Keep that on the forefront of your mind as much as possible until it is so singed in your brain that you can paint that picture better than you can see it in your mind. Does this make sense? It's keeping those things in the forefront for you so that these little distractions that come along, like, oh, there's some McDonald's French fries, mistake, right? So that those things don't steal our attention and steal our joy. And, man, I'm up 5 pounds again, doggone it, I need to get back into it. Okay, if I am truly focused, then the Cinnabon doesn't matter. Then the French fries, it's not even going to be a thing, right? The McDonald's cheeseburgers, the Chick-fil-A, you can talk to me about that until you're blue in the face, but I have a really big vision, and that's bigger than all these other little distractions. Make sure that's there on your goal plan. How much weight are you going to lose? What are you going to weigh? And write them like this. I weigh 200 pounds by June 1st, 2022. And then write down why. Why do I want to lose this? Well, I'm going to fit into the soccer jersey. I'm going to fit into the polo pants. I'm going to fit into the shirt from Brooks Brothers from Joyce. I'm going to look better in the mirror. I'm going to feel more confident about myself. I'm going to be able to wear a tie again without 3 extenders. I don't know. Whatever your thing is, write it down, make a goal, set a date, make a plan, and do at least one thing each and every day that moves you closer towards that goal. You're getting on the elliptical. You're getting on the treadmill. You're getting a gym membership. Your gym bag is packed. You are removing as much of the obstacles from you and your life as humanly possible so that it is very easy for you to hop in the car and get to the gym. You already know the locker combination, or you're already in your gym garb. You're ready to go. You're ready to rock and roll. There's no more of these excuses. Well, I got to go all the way upstairs to get my tennis shoes. Nope, they're already right there. They're ready to go. I don't even know where my gym shorts are. Nope, you've already set them out. You got your gym shirt, sweatshirt, your trunks. You got your iPad is charged. You got your earbuds already set out. Do you use Raycon? I love the Raycon buds. They actually stay in my ears. I tried the ones from Apple, and maybe I just had the wrong one. If you're like hardcore Apple, that's fine. Whatever. If you're looking for a great set of earbuds, I don't get paid for this stuff. I need to start getting paid. Raycon are incredibly comfortable. I don't have the ear fatigue in my ear after working out for an hour and a half. And I would have these things in my ear while I'm working on the projects, because a lot of time you're the only one up there in the ceiling, or you're wiring the cables behind the display, or you're, pulling. It's just you, right? So for a good 2-3 hours, I'm listening to podcasts. I might be listening to music. And I did that really, all right, I'm going to be submitting some audio sound bites to Raycon, because doggone it, I could use the $25. No, you could probably charge more. Raycon's a really nice company. I forget who started it. Ray, the former rapper, I think he's on it. Ray? Maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't matter. Okay, we were talking about prioritizing diet, right? A lot of my diet is what I'm going to eat, how much I'm going to eat, or how little I'm going to eat. I need to listen to my body. You need to listen to your body. Stop eating when you're full. That's your body saying, hey, time out. We're good. We're good down here. All right, you had more Flamin' Hot Cheetos. No, we didn't need those. Take this stuff out of your diet that is not going to help you reach your goal. Those Cheetos, they're not doing me any favors. The Doritos, you know what? That's like $3.50 a bag now. Do you remember when they were $1.50, $2 on sale back in, 3 years ago? 2 for $4. That was always their sale, especially around Super Bowl. 2 for $4. 2 for $4 Frito-Lay. 2 for $4 Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and then they had a jalapeno Cheetos, and now they got the super Flamin' Hot Cheetos, the Flamin' Hot fries. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. What are we eating? What are we putting into our body? Let's pay attention to what we're doing. Okay, am I putting a lot of carbohydrates into my body that's just empty fuel, and it's not going to be helping me out? Maybe I could lean towards a few more animal fats. So in the morning, I'm eating bacon, I'm eating sausage, I'm eating eggs. I started on this thing called cachava. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. I'm just now learning about it, but we got a couple bags in. My wife and I were going to try it out for a month, see how it goes. You get a large bag. It's supposed to last you for 15 days, I think, at three meals per day. So a total of 30 meals, however you partition that out in your month. And again, I'm not getting paid by those people either. A lot of nutrients, a lot of vitamins, probiotics, all natural foods. It's in the powder form. So I'll take 2 scoops of the cachava. I throw it in my mix. We have a Ninja blender. We had another blender that broke down after, 8 years. I'm like, all right, I guess we've had it. And this is the length that the blender is going to survive. So it's time to replace that. I started looking around, Amazon Marketplace. It's always my go-to. Went to eBay, found a brand new Ninja Slice It, Do It All for You Dolly, kind of a blender, and dropped, a C note on that. I think it might have been 125. Got it in. Fantastic. I love this thing. So I got my 2 scoops. I got 12 ounces of water in there. And blend it all up, and then I start adding ice, so I get a nice frozen drink. And I like adding at least a handful of frozen fruit, frozen berries, frozen strawberries, frozen whatever. That's really good. And then, man, I'll just, sip that on down. You could throw your espresso in there if you wanted to. That works as well. I drink a lot of espresso. Why? That helps curb my appetite, and espresso is a natural laxative. That's right, espresso and poop, they're best friends. They like hanging out together every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have like 3 espressos in the day. I get one in the morning after the workout. So I'll work out. I'll get on the elliptical or do Taibo while I'm fasting. So I might have a 17-ounce glass of water, then I work out. And then I start drinking that 70 ounces of water throughout the day. I got my espresso going. I'm doing the intermittent fasting, so I'll fast after like 12 p.m. I will have just had lunch, and then I fast until the next morning when I get up and I start my water. I have an espresso. I hop on the elliptical, and then I'm through with that by 7 a.m., and that's about when I fix my breakfast. I wait a few hours, have lunch, and then I go right back to intermittent fasting. These are action steps that I'm putting into my plan to reach my goal of 200 pounds. And again, you want to put that as in the present tense when you're writing down on that goal sheet, okay? I weigh 200 pounds by, and put a date to it. Be specific, be detailed, because the more vivid the goal, the more detailed your goal, the more vivid the picture that you are associating with that goal, the more it's going to push you. The easier it's going to be for you to get to that place. The harder it's going to be for all these distractions to creep on in. Hey, don't you want some French fries? Nope, don't need any French fries. I'm going to wear that soccer jersey with those polo pants. I'm going to be wearing that Brooks Brothers while I'm down on the beach with a pair of linen pants with my wife. I'm going to be looking like the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be money and I don't even know it. Come on. Who hasn't seen the movie Swingers with Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau? I forget the other guys. That's a good movie. That was so fun. That was so good. Okay. So that's another reason that I'm prioritizing my diet. And diet isn't just, okay, we're going to go on this. I'm talking about what you eat on a regular basis. What have we injected into our lives over the past year? What have I ingested myself? So every year around Christmas, Thanksgiving, we make homemade Chex Mix. Have you ever done this? If not, you have to try it, okay? You don't have to try it for a long period of time. You make one bag and then you're going to be hooked. So you have to be very delicate. You have to limit yourself. Otherwise, before you know it, you started making homemade Chex Mix every week since mid-November, and you didn't stop until after January 1. That's how you gained 15 pounds over the holidays, okay? You're ingesting salt and the carbohydrate. It's so delicious. We had the Cheez-Its in there with the pretzels. They used to have these beer pretzel O's. Did they have those where you are at the grocery store, at the Walmart, Meijer, supermarket, Sam's Club, Costco? They don't have them anymore. I can't find them. They were my favorite. I think they were from Cypher's, Pretzelos, and they were extra salty, like beer Pretzelos. So good. Oh, okay. Sorry, have to reset and get off of that. Back onto our diet. I can't ingest Pretzelos and Doritos and homemade Chex Mix on a regular basis if I want to reach 200 pounds by June 1. I can, however, do life in moderation. You remember the Socrates quote, or Socrates, as I like to lovingly refer to him as, with my brothers Bill and Ted on their excellent adventure back in the 90s. The original one. I haven't seen the new one. I don't really know I have plans to watch the new one. It's just so... How can you make another one after like 30 years? Why can't we come up with something creative? I'll tell you what, the most creative shows that I'm seeing now that come out from Hollywood are the true stories. Truth Stranger Than Fiction. And Stranger Than Fiction was really good too, with Will Ferrell. Did you ever see that? That was a phenomenal movie. How am I losing that? I got a date. I got an action plan. I got a goal. You need to do the same. If you want to, if we're prioritizing our diet, and do something each and every day that's going to push you towards your diet that's going to bring you closer to that. I got my game plan. That's how I'm going to do it, gang. All right. Again, the website is tobybaker.life. If you got questions that I can help you out with, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not even a personal trainer. I'm a regular guy who reads. I watch a lot of videos. I watch Billy Blanks do his Tybo. I don't watch Billy Blanks do the equilibrium. You're welcome to drop me an email, me at tobybaker.life. I'm looking into one of those virtual phone numbers so we can do some texting. I understand that's even better than doing the email thing. So I'm looking into that, seeing if we can bring that about, just making it easier for you to reach out if you were so thus inclined. If it's not a priority for you, it's not going to happen. No matter how many pictures you put in front of yourself, no matter how many diet plans you purchase from the television late at night at 2 in the morning, if they still have those programs, I don't know. I haven't been awake at 2 in the morning since our last small group meeting that we had with Campus Life JV. Do they still have a 2 in the morning? Last I knew, they my wife gets up, she tells me she gets up at 4:30 in the morning. I don't know that I believe her. I don't think they have a 2:30 in the morning. I'm not seeing that. They have a 4:50 in the morning. I know that. That's when my alarm goes off. I don't know about this 4:30 stuff. I certainly don't know about the 2 a.m. stuff. But there used to be a rumor flying around back in the 80s and 90s. They'd have these TV, like as seen on TV, and they'd have all these programs like No Money Down, right? No Money Down program where you're buying real estate, no money down. You can get rich quickly. All these schemes that they had, proven to be so. And the Ginsu knives was sold on TV at the supposed 2 a.m. clock time. So, again, gang, I've seen people buy tapes, not watch them, buy treadmills, not use them, get a gym membership, and never go. None of that matters if you haven't made the decision to change. And that's the key. That is the key. It's not going to matter what kind of smoothie bar they have and how many alcoholic drinks that they put into the smoothie bar at the gym, whether they're using tequila, vodka, rum, or bourbon. It's not going to matter how great the gym is, how cute the guys are, how hot the girls are, how great the equipment is. None of that matters if you haven't made the decision. And we're way beyond the January 1. We're way beyond the statistical end of the New Year's resolutions. It doesn't mean you got to wait. Where are we at? We're almost in April. Fine. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. You don't have to wait 9 months to start over. You can do that today if you make the decision, if you decide to change. And only you can decide for you. No one's going to do that for you. You can watch a number of Anthony Robbins. Fantastic. I love his stuff. Incredible speaker. Really solid material. Very applicable in every walk of life. Doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't. What does matter is you making the decision to change. It's not going to change until you change it, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. If you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you have always got. It's as simple as that. I can't say I want to lose weight. Someday I'm going to lose weight. Well, that doesn't mean anything. Someday I'm going to write a book. I'm going to make a movie. Someday I'm going to get the job. Someday I'm going to get that promotion. It doesn't matter until I've made the decision to do it. And why? I think I'm worth it. I know my wife believes that I'm worth it. I have to wonder if maybe even you're worth it. I think maybe you are. Maybe you're listening to this program, bad as it is. I'm sorry. I try to be very good. I honestly do. Someday I'm going to be great. I just going to keep trying. Maybe you're listening to this and you're looking in the mirror right now and you're saying, no, I'm not worth it. Stop speaking that over yourself. Because if positive words have power, so do the negative ones. So do the negative ones. And if you're looking at yourself in the mirror, we're going to speak this. You're going to speak this. I'm worth it. I can do this. I can maximize this. I can accomplish this. Why? Because you have it within you to do so. You don't even have to go buy a piece of equipment. I'm starting to see all these exercises that they do with isometrics. It's like holding a suitcase out, stretched out with your arm for 2 minutes. That gets painful because you're holding this weight out for a long time. And then you do it with the other arm. And then you just basically use things you would find at your home or in a hotel room if you're on the road, and that's how you exercise. Audible has these great traveling exercise audios that you can listen to when you're on the road. They'll take you on a mile run, and then at that time they'll have you turn around, and they do the intermittent running, jogging, walking, so you can change your heartbeat so you get that running and pumping and gunning good. It's not going to matter if you don't decide. I'm not selling anything on this, okay? I'm not even making any money off of my Raycon promotion, off of the Kachava mention, which is a shame. I really should get paid. But when you do something well, and someday when I do it well, yeah, I'll get paid for it. But right now, I just want to help other people. It took me a long time to realize until I prioritize my diet, it ain't going to happen. No one's going to prioritize it for me, right? Like, you can get an accountability partner. You can have them send you text messages, and that is incredibly helpful. If you haven't made the decision, it's not going to matter what is in that text message to promote you, to motivate you, to push you towards that goal. You know why? Because you can't push a rope, people. No matter how hard you try, that rope is freaking stubborn, right? You might as well be telling your toddler to stay out of the cookie jar. They're still going to do it, especially if you put it within reach of where he is. Not that they had to do that for me, because I could move chairs around and I could climb very well. I was a determined young man. You know what happened? I made a decision when I was very young that, by golly, come hell or high water, I was getting into Grandma's freezer. That's where she kept the good cookies. She kept all the oatmeal raisin stuff in the cookie jar. I wanted the frozen ginger crinkles that she was holding back for another time. So I was determined. I got the chair from the other room when they weren't paying attention. I pulled it into the kitchen. I pushed it up to the counter. I climbed on the chair, onto the counter, opened up the freezer. I'm doing acrobats in order to get into that god-awful orange Tupperware circular container in the freezer, where once you unlock that lid, you reap the booty. You get into the ginger crinkles that are frozen, and you begin eating and eating and eating. And oh, the loveliness that was the frozen ginger crinkle from Grandma's freezer. I was determined. I made a decision. Those cookies will be mine. And those were, and I paid the price for it because Grandma and Mom, they weren't too happy about it. But you know what? It was worth standing in the corner for that hour, thinking about what I did while I was eating the cookies I had in my pocket. I know, I'm such a bad boy. You got to make the decision, gang. If you don't want to do this, then the past, how long have I been on? I don't even know. It doesn't tell me. I don't know. I think I got on at 2:45, whatever. It doesn't matter. You got to decide for you. You want to decide? You want to make that decision? You want to make that right now? You want to make that today? You are the only person who is holding you back. No one else is going to do it for you, and no one else is going to decide for you. No one else is holding you back. There'll be haters. There'll be people on your Facebook page if you start to post your journey. So what? That just shows how small of a world they were. And if your friends are the ones that are criticizing you or making fun of you, maybe they're jealous. And that jealousy is just oozing out of them in their criticism, in their mockery of you. Shame on them, really. Because if they were true friends, they would be rooting on for your success. I've seen posts from Instagram people I've never even met that are rooting on for my success. How encouraging is that? And share your supposed journey with a few people. Get a couple people on board. Get some accountability partners. That's a fantastic idea. Find some people that will honestly keep you accountable and say, hey, you said you were going to walk a mile this week, or you were going to walk a mile today. How'd it go? Did you walk your mile? You said you were going to walk your mile. Now, you can't hold them accountable for them not texting you. Because if they don't, maybe you just chose the wrong person, right? Don't expect a fly by the seat of their pants kind of a person with a personality that is more about like a party waiting to happen than they are about the details and the details that detail those details, where they got spreadsheets for everything. I think that's the friend you want to help keep you accountable. You want those people to be sending you a text message or a phone call or an email or a nudge or something, some kind of a message, some way, shape, or form to say, hey, you said you were going to do that thing. How'd that go? Did you do that? So I'm coaching a guy right now, and I have been for about the past 3 months. He's had a hard time figuring out his why. He's had a hard time finding his motivation. He finally found that. Sometimes we don't even know what that is because we don't take the time to do it. We are so wrapped up. We are so involved in making sure that I keep moving, got to keep moving, got to keep telling everybody how busy I am. You know how busy? Oh, man. You don't even want to know how busy I've been. I bet you've been busy. Oh, my gosh, have I been busy? Let me tell you how busy I've been. And then they go on and on about how busy they've been. I got a friend that hates going to his own family reunion and talking with these people because he knows they're going to bore the crap out of him with how busy they've been, because for some odd reason, they think they see themselves as more important because, well, our children are involved in like 10 activities a day. We got, we're the taxi, we're traveling them all around. They're getting all these awards. We had to actually take out, get this, another storage house in order just to store their awards. Isn't that crazy? He absolutely hates it. And I can't blame him. Because if that's a family member and I say, hey, how's it been going? And they tell me about how busy they are. Come on, man. Really? This is where we are? This is where our society is? Believe it or not, there are some people in countries where they don't have televisions in their home. Easy, easy. Take a seat. Easy. It's true. True story. They don't even have a television in their house. They have a piano in their house. They have musical instruments in their house. They have hobbies. They're productive. They have a community that accumulates right on their doorstep. I know of a couple of communities where all the men will gather on the stoop and all the women will gather around and they'll begin walking around the block. Both young and old women will begin walking around the block. It's not in Indiana, I'll tell you that. They'll begin walking around the block, and the young women learn from the older women, and the young men on the stoop learn from the older men on the stoop. They share their stories. They share their wisdom, and that's all I'm doing with you here today. I'm sharing where I've come, the pains that I've endured, what's been going on in my life. I was a fatso, okay? That was me. I own up to it. I don't need to hide from it. It's who I was. Did I need to be that way? No. Do I need to be that way today? Absolutely not. What am I doing about it? That's what I've just told you. I'm intermittent fasting. I'm drinking 70 ounces of water a day. I'm on the elliptical 3 days a week. I'm doing Taibo. I'm doing walks with my wife. When it's not 20 degrees and the wind is 50 miles per hour and they're expecting snow tonight after we have our 50% chance of rain. Yeah. On the sunnier days when it's a little warm out so that my honey bunny isn't freezing her nice tight rear end off. I don't want to put her in those kind of positions. Garbage in, garbage out. If I'm putting in good fuel, I will get good results. You ever put diesel into a gasoline engine? Forget about it. That's what my uncle would say. He's from New York. Forget about it, Tob. It's not going to work out for you. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for you. Really, Uncle T? Don't do it. Just saying. There you go. Go buy you something, a new suit. All right. Thanks, Uncle T. There it is, gang. You got to make the decision. You want to change something? You want to set a goal? Don't keep putting it off. Get out those Post-it notes. Have it on the forefront of your mind. Have it everywhere you go. Who cares if somebody else sees your Post-it note that you're going to be at such and such weight by such and such date? And here's how you're going to do it. If no one else is there to motivate you, guess what job you get? You get to motivate you. Watch some YouTube videos. They're all online. There's tons of motivational videos online. There's a motivational app. I was doing that for a little bit, and the app was a little janky. It wasn't working out as well. At any rate, I'm going to encourage you on this. I'm going to encourage you to take a look at your diet. Take a look at what you're putting into your body. You want to make a change? Make that decision today. It's not going to be easy. Nothing good comes easy. Aren't you worth it to change it? Aren't you worth it when you look yourself in the mirror? Yeah. I want you to say those very words. I'm worth the change. I'm worth the goal. And maybe it's time for us to make that change.